After the Pope departed, just a few weeks later in late October, I would go with Governor Ray. We would journey to China, as was the U.S. and China had just established diplomatic relations. I met the Paramount Leader Deng Xiaoping. Had amazing opportunity for a young American diplomat to actually converse with him about the Khmer Rouge, the genocidal murderers whom he condemned to me. And then Governor Ray led the delegation to Thailand, where we would visit the refugee camp at Sa Kaeo and see 30,000 of the victims of the Cambodian Genocide assembled there in the most incredible, terrible situation, that dying 50 to 100 a day, their bodies being bulldozed into mass graves. And Governor Ray, the photographer who had photographed the crowd at the Pope's visit from his helicopter, now took photos there. And on the plane trip back to the United States, all that he and Mrs. Ray and the other 5 governors who were with him, all we could talk about was this incredible, devastating scene that we had witnessed. And when we landed in Des Moines in the evening, early November, we were met there by a young reporter from the Des Moines Register named David Yepsen. And he had his pad out and his pen and taking notes and asking Governor Ray about what he had seen. And the governor was describing this terrible humanitarian disaster that beyond anything any of us had seen. And Yepsen, the reporter, asks the Governor Ray, "Do you have any photos of it?" And the governor reached into his bag and brought out this handful of rolls, little yellow rolls of Kodak film that were already exposed but not developed. And he was holding them there to show Yepsen that he didn't have any photos yet to give him. And Yepsen asked the question a good reporter would ask, "Can we have the film? Can the Des Moines Register have your photos?" It's a question hard to imagine many politicians these days, or even in those days, who would just hand over their film to a newspaper reporter. And there was a moment of hesitation as I was standing there watching Governor Ray when he was thinking about it. And because of the respect that he had for the Des Moines Register, for David Yepsen, he handed him the film. Yepsen would take those rolls of film back to the Register. They'd be developed that evening, and the next morning, as the Des Moines Register edition hit the streets all over the state, the headline said, "I watched people die, Ray." And next to it was this large picture, this large photo of this pathetic-looking Cambodian, obviously in incredible distress, emaciated, starved, suffering. Photo of that person he had seen. And this image spread across the state and would lead to one of the finest and greatest humanitarian moments in the history of the state of Iowa, and a program called Iowa Shares.